Hey, Railbirds, Kevin here. All right, here we are on the final day. We are at the first semifinals at the 2022 World Artistic Pool Championships. This is going to be a fun day. We're coming at you live from the fabulous League Room in Parkersburg, West Virginia, not Las Vegas. Presented by Jacoby Custom Cues, Championship Billiard Fabric, Dynaspheres Next Gen Phenolic Resin Balls, and Digital Pool. Thank you for your support. Also, go check out Dr. Q, Navigator, and Balanced Billiards. Thank you as well. Being joined today by Mark White and also Brian Superman Pauly. This semifinal match features, first of all, that gentleman at the table, Gaston the Prince Tomadoni, all the way from Buenos Aires, Argentina. Currently ranked 14th on the WPA. It's 2019 Rising Star winner. In 2019, the current World Follow Champion. And that is back-to-back championships. His opponent is going to be the Dragon, Tim Chin, currently ranked 5th on the WPA from St. Paul, Minnesota. He is the current 2022 National, that's U.S. National Artistic Pool Champion. 2019 Kaken Auto Artistic Pool Open. 2016 UTS World Championship Most Creative Shot Award, and 2011 ESPN World Cup of Trick Shots Silver Medalist. This is going to be a good match. We got some great players in the house. And it looks like they are getting ready to start already. So I'm going to turn the microphone over to our commentators, Mark White and Brian Superman Pauly. Take it away.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. We are here in the league room. It is, of course, semi-finals day, and not only have we got some great players on the table, we've got an all-time great in the booth with us as well. Good morning, Brian. How are you?
I'm doing well. Good morning, guys. I want to take this moment to say good luck to all the Artistic Pool Championship.
Just 1 second. We're just going to sort out a little bit of a problem. If I'm honest, I'm trying to keep him a little bit quiet because he's much better than me at this.
I think the mic's working now. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. So how do you see this one going then? Tell us a little bit about these two that you know, Brian.
They're very good. Tim is very, very meticulous. He's got a very good setup regimen. This is a shot he invented, actually. It's called Tim's Twister.
So there is action.
Wow, what a start.
Second attempt. That's an 8-point shot, so he got 7 points for this.
So could you just go through for us very quickly, Brian, the actual procedure for this semi-final? What are we doing? What shots are they playing? What can they play? What can't they play? What's the
Perfect.
structure?
So we have our 8 categories in artistic pool. So we're going through the 8 in what I call the discipline round. It's kind of broken down into 2 halves. So Tim is shooting the odds, so he start leading in 1, 3, 5, and 7. So trick and fancy is the first discipline. So he picked a trick and fancy shot. You can pick any trick and fancy shot you want. So he picked a shot that he was comfortable making versus Gaston. There we go. And Gaston was having a little trouble with this in the practice, so obviously Tim wants to pick this to try to get the points. So now Gaston has to rebut this shot. He has to shoot it now. So once he's done shooting the shot, whether he makes or misses, we go on to special arts. Then Gaston leads in that discipline, and then Tim has to,
Gotcha.
exactly hit that shot. And then you just go through the 8. They rotate who leads. And then we get to what's called the wild card round, which is 4 picks, if it goes that far, and you can pick from anywhere in the program. You just can't duplicate the same shot. You can't do 4 jump shots.
Okay.
You have to be good a little bit of everything. It can't just be, a one-trick pony.
Is there a favourite? I mean, of course, we've got the reigning champion on the table, I think, don't we? Do we have? Oh, no, we don't.
He's in the next one, yeah.
The next one, yeah.
These two are very, very equally matched. There's no way to pick this. Ooh.
Gone a little bit short there.
Yeah, the adjustment on this, if you come a little short, you want to try to elevate a little more, get a little more draw on it to kind of come around.
Yeah, Gaston has come all the way from Buenos Aires in Argentina. So he's here to win it. He hasn't come just to make up the numbers.
Yeah, he didn't come to just have fun.
No, it's an expensive, fun trip.
But he does have fun.
We all do, don't we? That's something that being on site has really opened my eyes to, how much you guys just have fun and you all get on so well together. Here we go, second attempt. It's better, it's better, it's better! Big scream from Gaston.
Nice
Come
shot.
on!
Nice shots. He made the adjustment.
And was that third attempt, was it? Or second attempt, so equal on points then, 7 each.
And that's the key really to this sport, is being able to make an adjustment. It's not always just about making it on the first try, even though you want to make it on the first try. But you got to make the adjustment, because if you hit it the same way 3 times, you might miss it the same way 3 times.
Well, as president of the association, the artistic pool, don't let me get it wrong. What are you president of, first of all?
The WPA Artistic Pool Division. So we are under the umbrella of the WPA.
So I have a question for you. I was practicing a few of your trick shots last night. I managed to make a couple of them, but I have a question. Could we please make it 27 attempts rather than 3?
Just for you.
I might enter next year then.
Just for you, Mike.
So what's coming up next then? What would you be choosing now? If you were that down there, what would you be choosing?
That's a good shot.
I want to try this one tonight. The 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3. So just explain this one for viewers that might not have seen it.
All right, so you shoot the 3 ball first, the 2 ball second, and the 1 ball last, but they go in 1, 2, 3 order. So you shoot it slow, medium, fast. So this shot, it's very nerve-wracking, but this is a good shot to set up when people say, well, hey, how hard is this stuff anyways? That looks easy. And then you set it up, and they're like, oh, this is not as easy as I thought it was.
Yeah, I think that's the case with most of these shots. I mean, you think, well, that can't be too difficult until you actually try them. Good morning, Jason. Weitengruber. What a great name that is. There's Gloria Jean, sponsor, of course, of the French man in the house, Maxence Delattre. I nearly said it right, I guess.
I think it's close as we're going to get, right?
Out of us 3, yes. I was a little bit disappointed when he turned up, if I'm totally honest. I mean, I had the sexiest accent in the building until he turned up, and he went and ruined it all for me. Here we go then, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3.
Good angle here.
Slightly harder and even harder. Oh, look at this. He's come. Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Drilled it.
How's your 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1?
Not bad.
Not bad. Would you choose that as one of your go-to shots?
I guess it depends on who I'm playing. If I play somebody that I know shoots this well, then I'm probably not going to pick it, because then it's a wash. If I get 10 and he gets 10, then I didn't do anything.
That's right, yeah.
I didn't go ahead. But if I know somebody that doesn't shoot this well, then absolutely I'm picking it.
So it's Tim's turn now at the same shot. Oh, look at this. Oh, and we saw him do this shot last night. He done exactly the same. Got the other 2 right and then missed the 1 ball.
Yeah, each ball has its own key that you have to do it. The first ball, it has to be slow enough. The 2 ball has to be faster, but they all have to be aimed at the same time.
Yeah, he was doing that last night where the 1 ball was coming inside.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the way to do it or not?
No, it has to go in last.
To come outside, right?
Right, but I think when you get ready to move over to the 1, sometimes you can over twist your body, and then you start firing it on the inside. All right, last attempt here.
That's it. This is it. Third time lucky for Tim Jin, the Dragon.
All right, so now Tim's going to pick a draw shot here.
As we see this, look at this. Look at them eyes.
He's doing 3A. I'm trying to remember what that shot is off the top of my head, but I think I have an idea.
Yeah, I do like the draw shots. I love the jump shots. I love the massé shots. I love the trick and fancy.
You like it all.
I like them all.
Yeah, the carom draw.
Oh, yeah, I like this one as well. So come on, explain it to us.
All right, so the 1 ball doesn't matter. So the cue ball is just going to carom off the 1, hit the 3 ball, and then draw back and make the 5, or whatever balls he picks. So this is a tricky little draw shot.
Yeah, it's worth 8 points, so points don't come easy. Semi-final, first semi-final of the day.
All right, so see how Tim hits this. Like the champion
good.
he is.
Pretty good. Yeah, you say champion. He is the reigning national artistic pool champion,
Yes,
of course.
he did. He won it in July.
Yep, I remember it well. I was in Thailand.
And one thing people need to also realize, when a ball is hanging in the pocket, we get a ball's width distance. So if you wanted to put that ball on the side out a little further, as long as it's within a 1 ball distance, it's still good.
Okay, because we've been talking about that.
So the follow version of this, to where you can come off, hit the ball, and follow up the rail,
Yep.
most of us, it's a ball out. Because it really doesn't work very well.
If it's too far in.
Yeah. Yeah, Tim just let him know that has to be on the diamond. There it is, on the diamond intersection.
Concentration, checking it's okay. And that's one thing I've noticed with you guys. You really are, you know, friends on the table, off the table, always willing to help each other,
Yeah.
applauding each other.
Yep, so you see how Gaston has a 7 ball further out from the pocket than Tim did. My guess is Gaston practiced it with that distance, that 3 ball distance. So he still wants to have that same 3 ball distance. So now the 7 ball comes out from the side a little bit, because he probably practiced it just inside that first diamond line, but it has to be on that diamond line.
So that's why he's moved the 7 ball.
Move the 7 ball out, so he still has the same distance of
Yeah.
what he's practiced.
Yeah.
Yep.
So the same amount of draw is what you're saying.
Mm-hmm. Same out draw, same angle.
Yeah, and this could throw him slightly, couldn't it?
It could.
Because now he's got adjustments to make.
And especially if you've practiced it a certain way, but if you accidentally practice it the wrong way,
Mm-hmm.
you might miss it in competition. We had an incident of that at the last event. The rocket massage, where you make the ball and it slides back the rail and makes the ball split. In the program, it says it's a chalk cube. But if you practice it at a different distance and you're not used to that, your aim could be off.
Mm-hmm.
So I've even done that a couple of times. Like, wait a minute, I've practiced it this way, but I set it up wrong. So the setup, reading the book and making sure you have everything set up exactly correctly is very key in what we do.
Yeah, there's a lot more to this game than, say, rotation pool, for example. You know, you're not just, it changes. Pool changes every single time, but you've only got really one. You've got no setup, have you? But in this, you're setting up, and it must be, as you say, spot on. Wow, head up there, jumped up, a little bit anxious, a little bit of a few nerves, probably.
Yeah. Well, it's, I guess, the difference, you know, a rotation aspect of this is, let's say you're used to practicing with, let's say, a template rack, but then you go to a tournament and they're using an actual wooden
Wood
rack.
rack, yeah.
They break differently, you know, so you're going to be used to one way, but like, oh, wait a minute, I get here, I have to use this. Ooh, that's going to be a little different.
Yeah, some players were explaining to me last night that there's certain shots that they wouldn't necessarily choose on this table, but they might choose on one of the other outer tables because they play differently.
Yep, absolutely. It's just like, you know, playing, you know, pool on one table in one room for one match and then going to another table. Hey, the cloth is a little worn, a little slow, a little fast. Rails are more reactive. So you gotta take all that into consideration.
Vamos. So struggling.
No points on that one.
Particular one, 0 points. Oh, what's coming next, I wonder.
So Gaston's doing follow, and he won the follow discipline. So I have a feeling he's going to hit maybe a 9 or 10-point follow shot. So he can get back into this match. But the fact that maybe he practiced that shot a little bit different from how it's set up in the book, I think that probably what caused him to miss that shot, because someone like Gaston, I wasn't expecting him to miss that.
So, question. I'm very disappointed, actually, to be honest. I'm very, very disappointed, Brian. For 3 days now, we've been sat here commentating on all the matches, and still I'm yet to see a circular draw shot. Now, if we don't see it in this before the final, you've got to go out there and perform it, because I'm not leaving Parkersburg until I see this circular draw shot. I'm very disappointed.
Well, then I hope somebody hits it, and so I don't have to go out there and hit it.
That really is testament to how difficult that shot is, isn't it?
It's a tough shot. I mean, I can hit it, but maybe not in 3 tries.
Oh, look, that was my next one I was going to ask that I haven't seen enough of. One of your favourites.
This is my all-time favorite.
So, come on then.
Trick shot.
We got the man to explain.
All right, so the 3-ball cluster, the one on the end, in the diagram, the red ball goes in the pocket, the middle ball banks cross side, and then the 2-ball goes in to that side pocket. And the cue ball arcs between this 2-ball gap and makes the ball. So you got to have the right speed so it gets through the window without breaking it. And then you have to have enough spin for it to arc. And then you got to make the 3-ball cluster. So there's a lot going on here. But if somebody's never seen trick shots, I love showing this to them because there's so much going in this. You got the 3 balls doing its thing, the cue ball's arcing, then it goes through that little gap. It's like, that's impressive, you know?
Would you say this is up there in difficulty with the circular draw shot? Is this sort of the next one in line, would you say? Or are there some others that deserve that title as well?
As far as stroke-wise, I wouldn't put this up there with the circular draw. As far as finesse-wise, absolutely. Because some of our shots require a really good stroke. Some of them are really more technical. So, to me, this is a very technical shot.
Caitlin, buongiorno. Hello, good morning, Caitlin. She's been with us since the start.
Morning, Caitlin. How are you doing?
So Gaston, the Prince. We've got Superman next to us. We've got the Dragon as well. We've got the Michigan Kid. And we got the Master.
Master Lynn and Jason play next. That's going to be a good match, too.
You're in the best seat, guys, for your Saturday. The 2022 WPA World Artistic Pool Championships. The reigning champion will be up next. Oh, nearly just missing the 8 ball. Now, is that unusual for that to be the trip up, or?
No, it's actually the hardest part of this, if there is a hardest part of it, because they're all hard, is to getting it through, but then also having enough spin to arc to go to that 8 ball. You know, so you can easily overspin this and hit the long rail, go short. But if people miss it, most of the time it's long, and you didn't snap enough to get the spin to go through there. So actually the easiest part of this, ironically, is the setup. If you set those 3 balls up correctly and hit it at the right spot, they'll go about every time. But then it's the right speed to get it through the gap and enough spin on it for it to take.
Through the window.
Absolutely.
Hence, through the window.
I saw Lynn hit this in prelims, and then the cue ball went back right through the window and didn't touch anything. So the cue ball went through the window twice in one shot. And then the cue ball has to be behind the center diamond line.
I wondered what he was just looking at. That's what he was just checking, is it?
Yep.
Second attempt. Oh, yes, yes,
Nicely
yes,
done.
yes. Fabulous shot.
He got his 8 points back, but now Tim can kind of break serve and take the lead on this.
Beautiful. Didn't do a Lynn though, did he? Didn't get back through. The burglar went through the window but got caught on the way back.
Yep.
They say a criminal always returns to the scene of the crime, don't they?
That's what they'd say. No, but I do know Tim knows how to make this. I played this on him in our quarterfinal match at the Nationals. And he hit it. So I was like, oops, that's not the right shot to pick.
How much do you actually study? If you know, like you go to bed the night before, so last night you go to bed, you think, right, I'm playing Tim Chin. Is there a shot that you're, without giving away secrets, of course, but would you be thinking about, right, I'm going to play that because that's his weaker shot maybe, and that's my strength?
Yeah, I kind of have we all kind of have a strategy when we play certain people. It's like, okay, if I know I'm playing Tim, I'm probably going to get a lot of technical shots and a lot of the shots that most of us maybe don't play in the prelims. So I need to make sure I'm good on those. And there's things like, I might go with this one or this one because I think maybe Tim might struggle. He doesn't struggle on a lot.
Oh, wow. Went a little bit short. Minor adjustment. Did go through the window, though, but exactly the same as Gaston there. Missed the ball over the corner. Will he move that ball out slightly? Can he move it out?
Absolutely.
The ball?
So when a ball's hanging in the pocket, it has a one ball width. So you can put a ball with the back equal with the shelf and then pull the ball ahead of it. So it has a one ball width.
That's why you see them doing that sometimes and then replace the ball with, I get it.
Yep. So he can
Look
either.
how close that was.
So close. So he can either pull the ball out further, he can adjust his speed, or he can adjust his spin. So it's 3 things he can change. So then you figure which one do you change?
I've only got 2 shots left.
He's only got 2 shots left. So let's see what he does here.
Oh, he's same again.
Wow.
See, I don't know much about these particular shots, of course, but would you not move that ball out yourself there?
I would, personally, if I'm overstroking, if I'm hitting it, if I came to the same spot twice. But what has also happened is you make the adjustment, and then you hit it a different way, and then your adjustment misses. So we're like, if you move that ball out, and then let's say you hit it a different way, and then the cue ball hits the rail and rattles it.
But for a layman like myself, I think that's a much easier adjustment to make than trying to change your stroke or the.
Absolutely, yeah. If you want to change one thing, change like where you're
where you're missing. I mean, it's identical to the first shot, really, wasn't it? Slightly short, hit that long rail.
Change the easiest thing that you can change.
Yeah.
All right, 3rd attempt. Here we go.
And then he went long. Now, had he have moved that?
My guess is he either changed his speed and didn't hit it as hard, or he didn't put as much high spin on it to try to compensate for going short the other time. Yeah, I think he went down on the spin because I didn't see as much rotation on the cue ball, so I think he took his spin down a little bit.
Wow. Gaston then.
So now this is Tim's. So now this is Tim who's doing bank kick, and he is doing shot 4C, which is...
Oh, my favourite.
This is a cool looking shot.
This is the next one I want to try. I woke up thinking about this shot. Honestly, I did. If I want to try one shot today, it's this one, my favourite.
We'll definitely set it up for you, Mark.
Thank you. That's the problem I was worried about. I couldn't remember where the cues went. So he's using one cue.
Yeah, you can use one or you can use two.
Yeah.
You have the option.
What's your preference?
I like using two because it just reinforces the cue so it doesn't move. And I kind of have a sentimental reason for it. So my dad passed in 2020, and I use his cues as my prop cues.
Oh, how lovely. See, I love little stories like that.
So, yep. So how this works is, so the cue ball and the object ball are frozen together. So you fire the object ball in, cue ball goes 1, 2, 3, 4 rails, hits the cue stick, comes down 2 more rails, and then makes the ball in the side pocket.
Now, his Achilles heel on this particular shot, we saw him miss the actual making the first pot 3 times. We saw him miss it once. Not this time,
Oh,
though.
that looks good.
Not this time. Look at this. Look at this. Oh, first time. He must have heard me. So how are you setting that up? Where is the aim? Where are you aiming that?
Oh, the cue stick?
No, sorry, the to make the pot. How far off that pocket is that?
Normally the aim points to the outside pocket edge.
Okay.
So it would be the left pocket edge because you're putting right spin on it.
So it's going to throw it a little bit.
Yep.
Look at that, just catching it. Oh,
wow,
yeah,
that
he's
was
jumping
close.
up and down. Look, had a lot of body English on that one. Great shot.
Yeah, so Gaston's choosing 2 cues. So like I said, you have the option. And the hardest part really of this shot is getting the cues in the right spot because you cannot test this.
No.
So when you come up there, like you can't roll the ball down and say, oh, where's that going to roll at? No, you got to you gotta set it up and then make the adjustment if it goes short or long.
So I see he's just inside the diamond there. But explain how you're setting the cues up.
So normally, like how I set it up to center between the first and the second to start with. And then depending on where the cue ball goes, where the cue ball goes, is where you move the sticks at. There are times where you're almost to the second diamond. There's times you're at 1.5. It just depends on speed and how the table's reacting. This is another one. It seems easy, but it can be very easily missed. It's very tricky, very touchy.
I want to say a quick thanks to our sponsors while he's just setting this up. Without them, of course, we wouldn't be sat here and you wouldn't be watching all this lovely free artistic pool. Famous Gaston. A fan there.
Yeah, Gaston is a very meticulous player. He wants to make sure everything's set up correctly before he goes, which is a smart thing to do because you don't want to set it up incorrectly and then just fire at it.
Nothing worse is there than setting something up wrong and hitting it perfect, but you've set it up wrong.
We've all done that many times.
Oh, look at this. He's certainly given... Oh, yeah, and he hit that very hard. Now, look at that. He caught... What happened there? Did it hop over the cue or what?
Anytime you hit it towards the upper end of the tips on the shaft, that has a possibility of happening. Ideally, the best way to hit this is when the cue hits more towards the butt end, because then it really can guide it straight down in that angle.
Yeah, he hit very high up, didn't he? Just before the joint. I think it was Kevin and I that were talking about that at one stage, so just setting them up again. Third and final attempt.
Actually, I think this is his second try.
Oh, is it?
Yep.
I'm glad you're here, Brian. On many levels.
Well, I'm glad you're here, Mark. More than you're glad I'm here. All right.
Again, very hard. Hit the correct part, though, of the butt, but he seems to play it harder than I've seen anyone else play it.
Yeah, some people, that's just their stroke. You know, they can't do a touch stroke, but Gaston can do a touch stroke. He just needs to make an adjustment to where it comes a little more into the more bottom of the butt. Because the higher up on the cue ball the higher up on the cue you hit, the less accuracy you have with it.
Gloria Jean, Ride the 9 Tour. Good morning. Gloria been with us every day. Sponsors Max Sense.
She does.
Well, that makes sense, doesn't it? Star of the future.
So she's the one I have to blame for getting him over here and beating me.
Ah. Again,
That looks
very
good.
hard. Oh!
Wow.
How can you hit that and not make it? Oh, dear.
It's days like this that's like, you know, we're crazy because we shoot this more all the time and miss it like that and still come back.
He hit him perfect, didn't he? What did he do, if anything? Could he have put it a little bit further out? It looked... Wow, that's unfortunate, isn't it?
If that 8-ball would have probably been more towards the center of the pocket and takes the point out of play.
Yeah.
Outside of that, he hit it perfect. All right, so now Gaston is picking in stroke. So we'll see what he has to pick. And he's down now, so he wants to at least make something to where he can get some points and hopefully pick something that he might think Tim struggles with maybe, or will have a problem with.
Yeah, I can see lots of Argentinian flags in the chat room, so he's got his supporters.
Absolutely.
That's a great thing about this, isn't it? How many different countries have we got? I mean, we've got Taiwan, we've got Argentina, France,
And
Canada,
yep.
America, of
Yep.
course.
So 5.
Wow.
And it's tough after a shot like this and you miss it just like that. You thought you hit it good. Now you got to wipe that out of your memory and go on to the next shot.
Yeah, just like missing a ball in rotation, I guess, you know.
When you get your next time back at the table, it's like, hey, I got to forget what I just did and
It's
go
a
at
new
it.
shot, yeah. So what's he choosing?
All right, let's see what stroke shot he's coming up with. Ooh,
Wow.
this is a good one. This is a fouette shot. So a fouette is whip in French.
Ah,
So a fouette stroke, it's like a really loose whip snap stroke. It's like what you would do with 2mm draw. So that's a fouette stroke. So he's going to bank the 1 ball out. The cue ball is going to slide out and then hook around that blocker ball. Tell you one person who loves this is Theo Mihalis. He loves this shot.
yeah, he was in the chat yesterday, actually, Steve.
Yep.
Where are you? Hope you've got a note from somebody to explain why you're not here, Steve.
School.
Oh, school, is it?
Yep.
Oh, that's okay then.
Yeah, so the cue ball can be no more than a chalk cube from the object ball.
And you see, lucky to have Brian Superman Paulie in the booth with us. We've got Kevin Ross from Railbirds driving the ship, the Starship Enterprise. And his good wife, Sherry, is on the side cam, bringing you that picture there. Here we go then, first attempt. The fouette.
Wow.
That was,
Didn't expect that.
No, that was... Just seems to have lost a bit of focus maybe at the moment.
Maybe. It could have been from the last shot. This is one of those shots that you really don't want to hit super hard. If you hit it clean, it'll still get that nice arc and that nice spin.
It's very hard, wasn't it, that?
Yeah, he fired into that.
And he's, to me, it looks like he's overhitting at the moment, most shots.
Could be. Could be.
What is that, a bit of tension in the arm maybe?
Could be nerves, could be adrenaline. Could be a lot of things. I mean, he knows who he's playing, and Tim knows who he's playing. So it's like when you play a really high-end player, it's like, all right, you know, you turn the gear up a little bit. You know, if Shane Van Belling's playing me, he's like, I don't care. If he's playing filler, okay, I got to turn it up a little bit, you know? So.
Yeah, that's one of the great rivalries in rotation, of course. Van Boning against Filler. Meanwhile, Gaston against Tim Chin.
Second attempt here.
Well, very famously, you mentioned Joshua Filler there. His good coach and partner by his side all the time is, of course, Pia Filler. You often see them at tournaments going out in between for a break, and she's giving him a talking to. If you were Gaston's coach now, what would you be saying to him?
I would tell him to kind of slow down, kind of get your focus there, and concentrate on what you're doing. You've hit these before. You know how to do it. Just don't try to, crush everything. Dan Hosier, a former player from back in the day. He's got some crazy innovations in his own right. Known as the spear thrower.
Wow. Well, I'll tell you what, we're here in the league room. We've got some axes if he wants to come and throw some of them. I found an axe room yesterday. Kevin told me that one existed. I didn't believe him. But, yeah, I threw some axes yesterday. Here we go. Third attempt. Yes, come on, is the shout. There he is. That's Gaston. He's back.
He shot. And you notice he took speed off that. He didn't hit that
A lot
so
of
hard.
speed. A lot of speed off of it, yeah. It was a nice smooth stroke rather than a whack.
Yep.
Nicely played. So that puts another little bit of pressure, because I'm sure Tim was thinking there, oh, he's going off the boil a little bit here. I've got him. And then all of a sudden, comes back and makes the last one. Beautiful, huh? Look at that ball spinning.
So actually, if Tim hits this, it's really good because Gaston led this. So Tim gets the next one. So this is, if he can make this and then lead, it's almost like running out on your opponent's dry break, and then now it's your break.
Yeah, or breaking your opponent's serve at tennis, that kind of thing, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So he's still in the driver's seat. Even if he misses this, he's still ahead coming up into his next pick. But if he were able to hit this, now he's really in the driver's seat.
Yeah, talking of the driver, I was lucky enough last night to get a lift home from the driver, Andrew Sozio, and he was telling me all about his Italian background.
Mm-hmm.
He's got family there in Avalone or somewhere like that, I think he said. Diego Escobar in the chat. Good morning.
All right, here's Tim Chin's first attempt.
Oh, didn't get the arc on the... So what causes that? What?
He either maybe didn't have enough high spin with that loose wrist snap, because it kind of came out, but it didn't arc. It didn't dive in towards the corner pocket.
And that comes from the snap of the wrist, you say?
Super loose wrist. I mean, if you're doing a fouette stroke, like somebody should be able to pull the cue right out of your hand. It's that loose.
I remember the great Ray Reardon from snooker used to tie a handkerchief around the butt of the cue and just hold the handkerchief and move it like that, and could play any shot on the table, just to prove a point of how loose you can actually grip the ball, the cue sometimes. Here we go then, second attempt. That's better. That's better. Oh dear. Oh, come on, that was close enough. Give it to him.
Wow. We have had so many near misses in this tournament. It's insane. He hit that so good. As you notice, he didn't strike it super hard either.
No.
Just a good, clean hit.
It looked graceful. It looked beautiful. And then it turned painful.
Now he's got to compose himself. Third try.
Yes.
Oh, he almost thought he overstroked it. Nice shot.
In it goes. So keeping the pressure on.
Absolutely.
The Dragon.
So a good friend of mine and very good artistic pool player, Florian Kohler, actually gave me some advice of every shot in this program, you don't have to hit hard. You just have to hit clean. Nice.
So tell me the difference between clean and hard.
Well, think of like a break stroke, just hitting as hard as you can,
Yeah.
versus a controlled soft break and still get the same,
Look, sorry to interrupt you. That was so close to that 12 ball then. It almost grazed it, and that's why the shriek of overstroked it.
Yep. Like I said, you can either just have a Bustamante break and make a ball on the break and center the cue ball, or you can do a Corey dual soft break, make a ball on the break, center the cue ball. You did the same thing, but what's
Yeah,
more
good
predictable?
point. Oh, this is the one-handed jump, the six-pack. Oh, he's in stroke here. He's in stroke. This is the rhythm we like. This is the rhythm. Don't stop. Don't stop. Keep it going, Tim. Keep it going. In it goes. Fantastic. He's got a six-pack.
Absolutely. He shoots that very, very well.
Now, I had, who did we have in the booth yesterday? Stacey Mendrick. And she was saying about the hand in the pocket. And are we going to see the hand in the pocket? There we are.
I was
Look.
just about to say
Oh,
it. The traditional
yes.
Tim with the
Yeah.
ball in the pocket.
Looking very cool. But, of course, that steadies yourself. Some players have it. I've seen a lot of rotation players when they playing around, doing it with one hand on their leg. Anything to steady themselves. So now, well, how's Gaston's one-handed jumping?
I've seen him make this multiple times this week, so I fully expect him to make this. The hard part is this, it's 6 shots. So when I was doing this in prelims, I made 5, and then I rattled the 6th one. And it's like, ugh. Then you gotta set up and do it again. So he has his rack back further a little bit. You're allowed to have the rack all the way up to the middle diamond line, the center diamond line. It actually has to be just behind that. So some people prefer it back. You can put a little more stroke on it. Tim likes to have it closer to where it eliminates if he puts any side spin on it for it to spin out and hit the point.
He has it towards nearer to the pocket, right?
Yep.
The pocket that he's shooting into, I mean.
Exactly. So
and now he's moved it back.
Yep. So it's for Tim, it's the least amount of distance, so you don't have to try to put any spin on it and miss it.
Look at the way he's standing there. Look, Mr. Cole personified. Look at him. Oh, yeah, it's just another day at the office for me. I'm cool. I'm Mr. Cool. This is nothing. In it goes.
I think he hit the rack.
Oh, did he hit the rack?
Yeah. We heard it. It hit the rack. Do you want to... Yeah, you can't touch it with anything, either the ball or the cue stick.
Right, okay.
Yeah, as long as it dings.
Is that why you use the metal rack?
Yeah. Hold on 1 second. I'm going to do a ruling here.
Okay, Brian just going off. We're just replaying it now, guys. Let's have a look at this, Brian. So tell us what just went on there.
All right, so Abram was over here to help translate for Gaston. He thought he made it because the ball didn't hit the rack. In the program, the shot is described, the rack cannot be contacted by any means. So your cue stick can't hit the rack. The ball can't hit the rack. So in this last time, he hit the rack with his cue stick.
Oh, was it on the last ball?
It was on the last ball.
Oh, he's got to go through it all again.
This is where the crazy part happens with this. And here's the other thing. You can't disrupt a ball. So if you jump it and the cue stick hits a ball, no good.
Oh, you guys are tough. You guys are very tough. So has to reset them up again. Yeah, sometimes there is a language barrier, isn't there?
Yeah, luckily we have Abram because he's bilingual and he can translate better.
How's your Spanish or Portuguese?
I took 2 years in high school and a year in college, but that was like 20-something years ago. So I know enough to get by. And I know the most important thing to know. Donde es el baño? Where's the bathroom?
My only word is cerveza.
Cerveza, yes. All right, here we go. Second attempt. Compose yourself, Gaston, and hit this.
So clever. Oh no, all the way to the last ball. And do you know what? I've just noticed something else about this shot, how difficult it is, as if it's not difficult enough to make the first 2 rows of balls. When you get to the back one, you've got the triangle to contend with as well, of course. You've only got the very top of the ball as well.
Ideally with this, you don't want to have it frozen to that back row. You want to have it up enough so you can eliminate hitting the rack like that. Yeah, but what he just did is what I did in prelims, and it's like, oh man, I gotta do this again.
Must be like running a marathon and falling over just as you're about to win it on the line and somebody else passes you.
Or you have an amazing run out, you get to the last money ball and you hang it.
Oh dear, I've done that a few times.
All right, just keep your composure, Gaston. You can make this. Good angle.
Oh, this is perfect. I like this angle. You can see.
There you go. Take your time.
Super tough shot. Can you take them in any order?
First, the back 3 you can go in any order.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely, yes. Look at that.
8 points for Gaston.
Yeah, and, you know, letting it all out there. And, of course, you're going to... He just went through hell.
Absolutely.
Twice. Well, I don't know who you're praying to, but it worked. Well done, Gaston. No one wants to lose at this stage.
Absolutely. All right, so now Gaston leads in Masse, and this is our final part of the discipline round.
Is that gone already?
Yeah, it's that fast when you get people are making shots, so we're almost halfway through.
What's going to be next? I'd just like to talk very quickly about the dress code. I mean, I love it. I love to see the way all the guys are dressed in there. Some have got more colourful shirts on than others, but they've all got their nice vests on. Some have more colourful vests than others. No names, Jamie Moody.
Yeah, he's the most best dressed, I would say, out of
And
all
I've
of
got
us.
to say, talking of best dressed, you are the best dressed co-commentator in the booth I've ever had the pleasure of commentating. I can't believe you didn't have to wear a vest to come and commentate with me.
Well, I kind of had to, you know, dress the part, and, you know, I love your shirt that you got on. Only you can pull this off.
Well, this is my favourite shirt, you know. I saw a pianist wearing this in Spain once, and I said, I've got to get me one of them. Where do I get one? And he told me the name of it, the name of the company, and I went and ordered it straight away. It's the most I've ever paid for a shirt, actually. This was over $130, this shirt. But I think it's worth it.
Oh, absolutely. As long as you like it, doesn't matter what anybody else says, right?
You mentioned Florian. What did you mean by that? Yeah, you mentioned Florian earlier. I know you was round his house last week. I was round his house as well, and I wore this shirt because he's an optometrist,
yes,
by trade, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And so I thought I'd put my glasses shirt on.
Yep.
It's a shame we haven't got the cameras on us because we could see how smartly dressed both of us are. Hint, hint.
Oh, now you want the cameras. I was going to put the cameras on us. You said, no cameras. Now you want the cameras.
Yeah, well, I want the cameras because, you know, Brian brightens up the whole place. No one wants to look at me.
All right, speaking of 10-pointer, 5C, let's see what this one is. I have an idea. This is a nice one.
This is a tough shot. So why is it called the Yao Massey?
Because this was created by a guy by the name of Eric Yao, who was a player back in our history. Was very good at Masse. He actually had his own Masse cue called the Eric Yao Masse cue. Most of us started with something like that. So basically, you just cut the object ball in, come around that arc, and then come back to make the combination.
Have you got any shots named after you? Have you invented a shot yet?
I do have a shot I do in shows. I call the Superman shot. It's a take on a shot that I saw Ava Mataya shoot in well, date myself, a VHS tape.
Wow. Betamax or VHS, not Betamax, because no one had Betamax, did they?
Yeah, it was VHS. It was it was part of a 3-part series, and the last VHS was called Amazing Trick Shots, and it was Steve Meserak, Pretty Boy Floyd, and Ava Mataya, and they were just doing shots. And one of the shots Ava did So you had 2 balls and then a rack vertical. You jump over the 2 balls through the rack, and then that little combination kiss shot we use in a lot of shots, and then you just split them. Well, my take is on it, I do it one-handed.
Oh, like Superman.
So I call it the Superman shot.
Brilliant. Oh, I know you're going to be coming to the next Predator Pro Billiard Series in Ohio, in Wilmington, there at the Roberts Arena.
Yep, it's my hometown, actually. I grew up in Wilmington.
Oh, really? Well, we're going to have to try and organise something. And I know we spoke last night. There's a Superman in rotation as well, Roberto Gomez. So I think we should have a Superman off.
Sounds like fun to me.
We can come up with some. I'm sure you can come up with something.
Oh, yeah.
Vamos, Gaston. Vamos, Argentina. So here we go. See, I've got OCD. That's doing my head in. That it's not straight.
In reality, as long as the 11 ball is in the center of the table.
Yeah. It's just me. Reminds me of a shot a practice drill I used to do on a snooker table. We used to call that the line-up. We'd put the cue on the table and put all the balls against it.
Yep. So for people who are wondering why he's got the stool, for people that are a little shorter for like a masse stroke and be able to get your leg up on the table, we have something in our sport called raising the floor. So you can put a step stool there for your one, foot, and you're still technically on the floor. Because masse, on a lot of these, you have to be perfectly up and down.
Yeah, that's Mr. Abraham Tootle. That's where he has an advantage.
Yeah, he's never had to use a stool. All right, here we go. First attempt.
Oh, well caught. Saved him having to set the whole thing up again. Well done, Gaston. You could play for Argentina in goal, mate, with stuff like that.
That's the hard part with some of these shots that have a lot of setup. If you miss it, it's like, oh, man, I'm going to go set this up again.
So I love the way he's got a little cushion on the rail for his knee to sit on. Look.
Oh, yeah, that's smart.
That is smart. When he gets as old as me, I wish I'd done that when I was on the building sites, the construction sites. Oh, nearly grabbed.
Close.
He's playing ice hockey now.
Kind of like with the shot earlier, that flat shot around. This shot, a masse, if the harder you hit it, the longer it takes for the spin to take. The softer you hit it, it's going to grab quicker. So if I was him, the adjustment, I would hit it the exact same, but take some speed off. Hit it hard enough just to get around that ball and then let that spin take.
Do you actually coach?
I've showed some people some stuff at the pool room, like, hey, you might want to try some of this.
Mm-hmm. Third attempt. Yo! Just a little bit hard again, maybe. Wow. He'll leave the balls there for his opponent. He'll take his little cushion, though. Yeah, he was close. Takes his stall. I used to have one of them when I used to go and watch soccer when I was a kid. We used to take a milk crate with us, we used to call it, that the bottles of milk came in.
Right. And Tim actually likes this shot. I've seen him make this in prelims, so Tim can really get a lead going if he were to hit this.
Now, why did he swap them balls around? Is it just a mental thing?
It's a preference thing.
Yeah.
When I practice a lot, if I have like 3 balls on the table, I use the 1, 2, and 3. Not just because they're Superman colors, but I know which ball goes where. And if it goes short, it's easier for me to pick. Okay, that ball missed there.
Clever.
I know which ball in the stack it's supposed to be. So if I use just random balls, I'm like, okay, which ball was what again?
Yeah, clever. See, it's little ideas like that, little nuggets of information, priceless. Wow, he went too quick.
Yeah, so he's going to have to adjust his aim a little bit to come out more.
Hit it a bit thick, did he? Needs to hit it a bit thinner?
Yeah, I think he also hit a little bit thick on that because it didn't really bite when it came around. That's always been my problem with Masse, is sometimes I hit too towards the center, and it's not allowing that spin to take. All right, second attempt. Let's see what type of adjustment Tim makes here.
So what was the problem there?
It didn't have enough bite like Gaston's. When Gaston's came out and still hooked back, I think Tim had the right angle this time. I just don't think he caught it cleanly like he wanted to. Either he was more towards the center of the ball or he didn't have enough loose wrist to snap it.
So third attempt, has to get it right this time. Still has a lead though, of course, 9 points. Well, not really any of those attempts went close.
I think Gaston's going to take a quick bathroom break here.
Okay, it gives us a chance to just talk about the players a little bit then. So Gaston from Argentina, as we know, Buenos Aires to be exact, and 2019 current world follow champion. So there's a good chance actually to talk about that, Brian. You have different categories, different awards with it. So just explain the way the competition goes.
So the maximum score in a discipline is 40 points. So whoever has the highest point value in that discipline wins that title. So in 2019, the last time we had a world championship was actually in this building. He went perfect 40 points. He made 5 straight follow shots on the first attempt.
Incredible.
And then he was our Rising Star winner, which it's an award that Tim Chin did years ago to kind of give something to like the players that are starting. So if you've played in 3 events or less, you're in the running for it. And if there's multiple people in that event that fit that category, whoever has the highest preliminary score gets a nice little medal, Rising Star winner. So I got it in 2015. Andrew's got it. I think Caitlin's has got it. So
who's the winner this year? Do we have one?
This year, Max.
Ah, Max.
It was between Max and Tim Gallagher. It was both their first tournament. And speaking about early tournaments, this is only Gaston's second ranking artistic pool tournament.
Incredible, incredible. And of course his opponent, Tim Chin, 2022 National Artistic Pool Champion.
All right, so now we're getting the wild card pick, and Tim picks first. And he picked Discipline 5 1B, which looks like the shot you were talking about.
Oh, I love this one. I love this shot. This is fabulous. This to me is like this is what I grew up on, watching things like this, you know, and it appeals to everyone, I think, this shot. I mean, of course, there's a lot of skill in it, but there's a lot of it is the setup as well, right?
Mm-hmm. And it's just the cool visual of this, because you have those balls chain reaction moving down.
Yeah, it reminds me of the domino effect. When it comes off, it looks absolutely so pretty.
And this is another technical shot. This is table dependent, so you're cutting in a ball that you're frozen to. The cue ball is going to go 5 rails and then hit that head ball, which starts a chain reaction. So you practice this, you don't put those balls out there. You just put like a chalk or a ball that just so you know if you hit it, so you don't have to keep setting it up every time. But this is very table dependent. This is very technical, and this is a Tim Chin special.
Oh, Diana Ross sang chain reaction. Let's see if Tim Chin can do a good cover version and get that chain reaction going. So once them frozen, that's why he's tapping it.
Yep, that's what keeps them together. And here we go, first attempt.
No, when they just hit too near the side pocket there. So there was a question there from Daniel asking, what is artistic pool? So, well, it is artistic pool.
Artistic pool is kind of like the blanket term of what trick shots are. You know, so you could have, the best way I could describe it is like you have pool, but that also encompasses 9-ball, 8-ball, 10-ball, one pocket, straight pool, but like the whole thing is pool. So that's the umbrella, right?
Okay.
So like Q Sports would be the umbrella for everything.
Talking of umbrella, we'll talk more about that in a second. Second attempt. Oh, this looks better. This looks much better. Go on, chain reaction. Oh, he hit the wrong ball.
He's got to hit the 8-ball.
Yeah, got to hit the 8. Right, it was closer. What does he need to do here? Just get nearer to that side pocket?
He's going to have to either change his angle.
Let's just have a look at that
Or a little more
replay and just
spin.
see exactly what happened there. Here it comes, right on cue. Yeah, wanted to be, as you say, hitting the 8-ball. 2/3 of it, right?
Yeah, you get as long as you clip the 8-ball at some point. I mean, he's kind of frustrated. He's
Yeah.
like, oh, man. It's either that or maybe you heard something in the crowd. I don't know.
Yeah, you mentioned.
And you can't move that. That's the cool thing. So he's going to make the adjustment on those.
So it has to be inside this second diamond, is that right?
I'd have to look at the program again because I don't shoot this shot. So I'd have to look at the book again to see like there's a spacing requirement or it has to be in a certain spot.
Okay.
Yeah, the pictures we put up is just the pictures because you don't want to have all the writing on there.
Just to give you an idea, yeah.
Yep.
And that is done by Tim Gallagher, of
Yep,
course.
he did the graphics for us. All right, here we go. Third try.
That's better. That's better. No.
Wait.
Oh, same again. Oh, dear, oh, dear. It looked better than it was, but only by a ball's width. Not enough.
Close.
He does have a little bit of a cushion.
All right, so
The
now,
lead.
Gaston has a big opportunity here to close the gap a little bit, and then it'll be his shot next.
And of course, that setup is important as well, isn't it? Because the last thing you want to do is hit it perfectly, and then one of those balls doesn't go.
Yep. There's so many variables to look at.
So how many tournaments do you have a year?
Usually 1 or 2. Sometimes we've had 3. It just depends on if we can get venues and sponsor money to do this. And also, there's not a lot of us that do this, so we don't want to have too many because then not everybody can get to them. So 2 or 3 is usually about where we land in a year. To answer Daniel's question, as long as the shot description doesn't say a ball has to be in a specific spot, you can modify it. You can move it around a little bit as an adjustment.
Artistic license.
So like the cue ball and the object ball, if I remember correctly, they don't have to be as close to the rail as Tim was. I think you have to be within the first diamond line.
Ah,
I
so
think.
he could have actually moved it out a little bit more if he'd wanted to.
If you wanted to, but most of the time, if you find a way that you practice and you make it, usually you want to
Keep
stick with
doing
that.
it, yeah. If it's not broke, don't fix it.
Exactly.
So there we see he did a ball width out
Mm-hmm.
off the rail, so that's obviously the way he practices it.
Ideally, you want to try to set things up the exact same way. So, a ball with this, a chalk cube this, a ball and a chalk, 2 balls,
2mm gauge.
2mm gauge, same thing.
Is that right that Tim Chin actually made those 2mm things in MIT?
No, he didn't. I don't think he made those. I think our previous president, Mark Demick, actually had those made. We had a number of them for a while, and then I think we only have 2 left. I have to get some more made.
Just would 3D print them surely now, can't you?
Probably could. Probably could. You just have to get a file somewhere.
Next attempt for Gaston.
His first attempt, actually. I don't think he's made an attempt yet.
Oh, is he not?
Yeah, I think his first try.
It sounds like a marketing opportunity for railbirds. I do 3D modeling and 3D printing. I can create some railbirds 2mm spacers.
We'll talk later.
Railbirds brand 2mm spacers. Don't leave home without it.
That commercial was sponsored by Railbirds.
There you go.
And talking of commercials and sponsors, big thanks to our sponsors, Championship Cloth, the League Room, of course, Digital Port, Navigator, Dr. Q.
Jacoby custom cues, Dinosphere balls.
There they are, look. I do like the shapes on them Dinosphere balls. Dr. Q. And now I believe he's actually in Morocco at the moment playing black ball with Mike Massey.
That's correct, or else he would have been here.
And I saw the opening ceremony this morning online, and it looked amazing. Attempt number 2. Well, that's what I was doing last night. I made the cue ball in the side about 3 times in a row. That's the thing, isn't it? Because the adjustments are so small that make such a big difference. So and you've only got 3 shots to do it. That's why I want 27, because it takes me a little while, you know.
Because you looked, his first attempt, he hit the point. He made an adjustment and he went in the side.
So is he trying to come before the side pocket or just after the side pocket?
Ideally, you'd want to come in before it, because then it goes deep and then it comes down short enough to make that ball. Almost like a Tiki in 3 cushion.
Tiki, yeah. Love 3 cushion. Played in Karam Cafe last year. I was lucky enough. Here we go then. And he's done the same again. Well, that was his 3rd attempt, so he will stay on 39. Still advantage, Tim.
Yep, so now it is Gaston's first wild card pick. And now Tim cannot pick another bank kick shot. So you cannot duplicate in the wild card. So now Gaston's going to look through the book. And
so you can play one from the same category, but you can't play the same shot from that category. Is that what you mean?
Correct, yeah. So in the first part, when you go 1 through 8, if you're good, let's say, follow shots, you can do a follow shot here, and you can do a follow shot in the wild card. But in the wild card, you can't do 2 follows.
What about if your opponent chooses that?
Yep.
That's okay?
Yep.
Ah.
So let's say if you and me are in a match, I'm up here in the 8s, and I do a follow shot. Come down here, you do a follow, I can do a follow.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm. All right, so now Gaston's thinking, all right, I need to get some points, but also I also need to make something that I think Tim might struggle with. So this is where the strategy comes in at.
Have you ever thought of bringing a shot clock into your game?
We kind of have an idea on certain shots, so you only have so much time. That may be something we could consider, because you don't want the match to take forever, but also you want to have people have enough time to be able to set it up correctly.
Yeah, so it's a
double-edged sword.
Yeah, double-edged sword. But of course, when you're trying to get viewers, I even say in rotation that when the referee is taking so long to rack the balls and keeps taking the rack off, putting it back on, moving them, and then the player will come and say, look, there's a gap there. Then they do it again. It's a little bit of a turn-off for me personally. Mm-hmm. And I've spoken to many other people as well. And sometimes that downtime is when somebody might just drift off and go and just check something else and might not come back.
Mm-hmm. So I think he's picked a shot now. So we'll see what he's picked here.
I suppose it's our job, isn't it, to keep people entertained while the shot. So it's our fault, really.
Well, you do a good job with that, Mark.
Some say I talk too much. Right, come on then. Oh, I love this one.
This is a classic. This has been around for quite some time. This is a nice stroke shot. So you fire an object ball under the bridge. You have to make it, jump over the bridge, and then draw back, make the ball in the pocket. There is a little caveat with the rules on this. The cue ball is allowed to touch the rack. The bridge, I should say. It's allowed to touch the bridge coming over. If you just barely clip it and it still comes back, it's good.
Okay. The Frenchman, Maxence Delattre, last night. This was their final shot against Jason Lynch, wasn't it, in the quarter-final for a place in the semi. And Max actually led by 4 points, and it was this shot that determined who was going to go through. And of course, Jason Lynch did. We'll be seeing him in the next semi-final against the master and reigning champion, Master Lin.
Yep, actually, Max, it was Jason's it was the last shot of the match, and Max was up 4 points. And Jason had to pick something that, he felt comfortable with, and was hoping Max wasn't going to hit. And there were a couple times to where, Max missed I think the first time he mixed the object ball, but didn't draw back. The second time he missed the ball, but drew back, got the drawback. So he was so close with it. But he wasn't able to get it, but it was a very close match.
I remember watching it with you, and I didn't realise at the time that you have to make the ball, this ball in.
Yep.
What number's that? I can't.
13? I think that's a 13.
13, yeah. So he has to make the 13 in the corner, jump over the bridge and draw back underneath it and make the one in the corner. Simple, right?
Easy as pie, right?
Oh,
yes,
did he get over it?
That didn't get over it.
Didn't get over it, did he?
He hit it. He has to get over, and then it.
How's your jumping over the bridge? This is one of them shots that looks really, really clever.
I actually like this shot. I usually put this in my shows because it's just a cool visual, and then it's got the stroke aspect to it. It's like, okay, it jumps over and then draws back. Because when you do shows for pool players, they want to see the stroke shots. They want to see the cool stuff. They don't want to see the easy setups because they know that stuff's probably easy. So that's why I throw this in there.
Yeah, I have to say I prefer the shots that actually take not just the setup, but the actual nice execution of it.
All right, second attempt here. This is an 8-point shot.
There you see. That's the way to do it, but he's missed. Got over it, made the ball, didn't make the one over the corner.
Wow. Very close. He's like, woo. This is another loose wrist shot. Almost, I wouldn't say quite loose like a fouette, but you got to have like a good, nice loose wrist, like if you're doing a draw stroke.
Yeah, good tip there for any aspiring cue sports fanatic. Loose grip, don't grip that cue too tight.
And the hard thing is also if you angle this, if you overhit it or underhit it, you may not get the angle to come into it.
What size pockets are these? Do you know?
I think these are regulation 4.5.
Okay.
I think. I don't think they had anything shimmed or anything.
Yeah, I know there's one tight table in here, and there's also another match going on at the moment, a challenge match.
Yeah, money match over in their arena.
Got a lovely pit arena here. Used to be a dance floor.
Used to be a nightclub, this place,
Yeah.
Yep. Last try. Here we go, Gaston. Get this. No, didn't get over.
Didn't get over the bridge. So, nil point, as they say in France.
Right.
What do they say in Spain, do you know, or Portugal?
For zero?
Yeah.
You're asking me too
I'm
quickly.
putting you on the spot, aren't I? I'm putting you on the spot.
I think it's Cerro.
There we see, look, just hitting it. It's a bit like the high jump, isn't it, that
Yep.
you used to do at school, just to clip the bar.
And what's interesting now, in the first 2 wild card picks, the players have missed the shot they picked. So now Tim has another advantage here. If he can get this shot, and then he has the next pick.
Yeah, and there you see them just putting the... Sometimes they put the bridge up on the chalk, the actual shaft of it, depending on the different shafts, of course. But there you see they're using there's like a little ridge the other side of that bridge that they're resting the chalk on, because obviously you don't want to go too high, but you want it just high enough that the ball passes under, of course.
And to show you how meticulous Tim is with setups, the setup he had for the cue ball was a ball and 2 poker chips. He had 2 poker chips and he sliced
Did
them in
he?
there. Yeah.
Let's hope the gamble pays off then. Will he be cashing later? He might be. Oh, that's a great view. Look at that, over. But didn't make the 5 or the 1.
Nice. Here's a good chance to look at his setup.
He's changing the balls as well. Didn't like that colour before. Ah, there's the chips that you were talking about. There they are, look. I wonder where they're from. How much are they worth? There you can see, look, just a little gap underneath that, the head of the bridge, look, where he's just got it wedged up on the chalk. I love little things like this, little intricate setup.
All right, second attempt. Now worth 7 points.
Yes. Oh, he didn't make the 5 though. Oh, that's sickening, isn't it? When you get the more difficult part of the shot right, shall we say?
Absolutely. Same thing. You got to have a short memory.
Look at that for a beautiful jump. Underneath it comes, makes the 8, and then all of a sudden, where does that 5 ball come from? Where is it? It's coming. It was coming.
All right, Tim, here we go. Last attempt, 6 points. You want to see this made.
Oh, he's missed the 5 again, and he's missed the one over the corner as well. So 0 points. What would you be What would your main concentration go on in that particular shot? Are you concentrating on the pot, having already worked out where you're striking the cue ball, or are you concentrating on the cue ball? Where's your concentration?
I want to make sure I can get that head ball to go, because if I hit it right with the right stroke, it still should go. But I'm making sure my aim's right on that first ball. Discipline 6, 4C, stroke shot. I think I know what he's doing here. Yep.
Oh, this is the opening. No, not the splitting the chopsticks.
Yep, so split the sticks, split the chopsticks. It's been called both. Basically, you have 2 cues that are going to be on the diamond to the point, and then the cue over here. It's a jump fouette shot. So you fire this ball into the rail. It'll hit the stick, opening the channel, hop over, and then use the guide stick to go in. Cue ball will jump over that stick and then spin forward between the sticks and make that ball.
How do you come up with something like this? I mean, it's ingenious, isn't it, just to think of them?
You have a lot of time on your hands, and you're a very creative person. So, Tim hits this really nice.
Yeah, I saw him make it earlier on in the week. Come Well, he must be good at this. He's got chopsticks in the title, hasn't it? He loves his food, I know that.
All right, so in this case, he's going to cross bank the 4. It's going to hit over those sticks, and then it's going to go in the top left-hand corner pocket. Then the cue ball is going to jump over the first stick, slide up between them, and make the 14.
Wow. So he didn't, the cue ball didn't go through the chopsticks.
He has to jump over, yep.
Yep.
Maybe that wasn't, maybe not loose wrist enough, maybe the wrong spot on the cue ball where he hit it. It could be a number of things. All right, here we go. Second attempt. This is worth 8 points. See, he went a little bit higher on his elevation this time.
Well, made one of the balls, but didn't split the sticks. Remember that cue ball has to come between those two sticks in the middle of the table. So things getting a little bit jittery out there. It is a semi-final. The winner of this will be in our final later on at 6 p.m. local time. How much are they playing for, Brian?
First place is $1,800.
Wow. Yes, please.
Not bad for 3 days' work.
Not bad. But brings me to another subject of you guys. I just cannot believe how much you practice. You're always on the practice table. You're always helping each other out.
Oh, yeah.
Don't know another sport like it. I really don't.
All right, last try. Come on, Tim, hit this. Didn't get the spin forward to go.
Yeah, and that was his pick, wasn't it?
It was. That is un-Tim Chin-like to pick 2 shots and not get them.
But, as you can see from the scoreboard, still has that lead. Renate Simoni. Let's go. Chance now.
And that's the thing, when you have the lead, you can try some harder shots that you know you can hit. But if you don't think that the other player can hit them, then you go ahead and give it a swing. That's part of the strategy. Some people will just start doing 6 and 7 point shots, just to get points.
But then they're easier for the other person as
exactly.
well, right?
So it's like, which way do you go with it? In earlier matches, I've seen Tim make both of those shots. So it's like, you didn't expect that. Same thing with Gaston, like the shot he picked. Didn't expect him to miss that.
I mean, I see a lot of cue sports played. I sit and commentate and watch for hours and hours every day. And so much of this game is in the mind. We know you can all hit these shots, but can you do it in a semi-final on the stream table? That's when it comes into it. The mind then comes into it. How much of the game is in the mind in your
Oh, it's very
eyes?
much mental. I mean, once you get the mechanics down, the stroke down, then it becomes all mental. So I have a little funny saying when I do shows. I say, pool is 40% physical and 80% mental. You're like, wait a minute, that doesn't add up to 100. but for the joke part, but then it is. It's more mental. It's like the relief pitcher that gives up a home run that has to come right back and get the out. It's like you miss one attempt. All right, I got to come back, hit another one. So,
Yeah, that's the strength, isn't it? That's where the mental strength comes from.
especially if you miss it close, like how close we've had some of the misses. And you're like, man, I just hit that so good. All right, I got to come back and hit it again.
Gotta do it again. Well, it looked good, but obviously it wasn't.
I think Gaston kind of jumped up a little bit on that, maybe. Just like with regular pool, you don't want to jump up. You want to keep your head down and just go through.
His nickname's not Brian. Tim's nickname isn't Brian.
To be honest with you, I have no idea how Tim got his nickname. I'm going to have to ask him.
Sorry, Caitlin, I couldn't resist that. We will ask him, though. We are here in the beautiful league room, and it really is fabulous. I mean, it's like an Aladdin's cave. There's like everything in here. You walk around, there's pinball machines, there's push penny machines.
Yeah, Chris has got a lot of stuff here. All right, Gaston, here we go. Second try.
Yeah, this is proving very difficult. How many points is this worth?
9. So this was a smart pick by Tim. Yeah, this is a tough shot, and like I said, I've seen Tim make this. So, but not everybody shoots this.
Yeah, there's a lot that can go wrong in this, isn't there?
Interestingly enough, I shoot this with a jump break cue.
Ah.
That's what helps me get that pop, and it has enough grab with the phenolic, even with the phenolic tip to get.
I was going to say, is there a difference in the tips?
I just use just a regular standard phenolic. Some people have like the bulletproof, tips that are phenolic, but they can get a lot of spin. You just got to figure out something that helps you. You might be unorthodox, but as long as it works.
As long as it works for you, yeah. There's no right or wrong way. It's whatever works for you.
I mean, look at Bustamante stroke. Not everybody can stroke like that, but it works for him. All right, here we go. Last try. Tough shot. 0 points.
A tough shot for both. So, wow, Tim got away with that a little bit. That was his choice. Didn't make any points, but neither did Gaston.
All right, so now we're on to Gaston's second wild card pick. He cannot pick a Massey shot. I can't remember what he shot for his first shot.
I should be writing this down, really. There's our sponsors. Thank you very much, guys. Dr. Q. Balance Billiards, Digital Pool. Navigator, look. And there's Dr. Q. Looking very, what's
young.
the word? Yeah, young. That's the word. The league room, of course, Jacoby Q's. And championship cloth. And this cloth has really taken a beating. Now, we spoke earlier about not so many people in this particular sport. Oh, let's just do this first. Jump in and out.
Oh yeah, this is a tough shot. This is another touchy one. So you shoot the cue ball or jump the cue ball, and you hit the object ball that's in the rack. That object ball has to jump out of the rack, make a ball, and then the cue ball makes the other ball.
No way. Really?
It's a tough shot, but it's pretty when it goes.
That's impossible.
Kevin knows I have a love-hate relationship with this shot.
More hate than love.
I think I've shot this 2 or 3 times on a stream table and haven't made it yet.
Oh, the only good thing about this is they're not aiming it towards Sherry. Oh, yes, they are.
Yep.
They actually are.
So the 9 ball in this case is on the spot. The bridge is in hand, so you can move the bridge kind of where you want it at.
The triangle.
Yep. Sorry, I don't know why I said bridge. Rack. Yeah.
Nor
rack,
do I.
The rack can be moved.
You're allowed to make a mistake.
Yep. Now the rack can be contacted.
It can or
Yeah,
can't?
The rack can be contacted.
Can be contacted. Beat by either ball?
By either ball. But if you contact it too much, it's probably not going to jump out. When this goes normally, the rack isn't even touched.
So what? The cue ball's going to make which ball?
He'll determine which one it is. But the cue ball makes one ball, the 9 ball makes the other.
So it doesn't matter.
Doesn't
Either
matter.
can make. Okay.
You can go either side.
Okay. Well, are you okay, Sherry?
I tell you who shoots this really good, Master Lin.
Oh, we're going to see him next.
I would, if I was a betting man, which I am every once in a while, I'd bet money that we see this in the next match.
Oh. Don't forget, guys, that's coming up for you at 3 p.m. today. Master Lim against the Michigan kid. There you see on your screens. And then, of course, the final, 6 p.m. Who's it going to be?
1 second.
We don't know any of them at the moment. So fill us in. A little discussion there, Brian. What was that?
Yeah, so Gaston had some ball polisher solution and was using it to kind of clean the ball. We were just using a cloth, so we can't actually use like a liquid to put on the cue ball.
Yeah, you don't want to do that, do you? Because that completely changes the way balls react.
Yep. So I told Abram, since he's fluent, to go down there and tell Gaston, hey, can't use that. So Abram's waiting until he finishes this attempt, and then he'll go down there and let him know.
Yeah, when I was a kid and practicing snooker, we used to have this spray furniture polish that I used to polish the balls with, and it used to do crazy things with the cue ball. So, final attempt then. Oh, look at this! Look at this! Oh, look at that!
Nice shot. I'll be right back.
Brilliant shot. Wow. Just going to leave you with a few clips from our sponsors, and we'll be back very, very shortly with a continuation of this match.
All right, so we're back. So what was going on is Gaston was using a ball polisher solution to keep the ball clean. We really can't do that. You just use the towel that was provided.
Mm-hmm.
So what we just did is, because that cue ball's already had the stuff on it, we talked to both players, switched out the cue ball to a ball that hasn't been doctored, in a sense. So they both agreed.
And why would you put a solution on the ball? What advantage can it?
It's kind of like putting silicone on the ball, to where if it's a lot more clean, it'll spin differently.
Okay. So 1 point in it, but of course Tim Chin with 3 attempts to go back into the lead. Here we go, first attempt.
Actually, Tim's already in the lead by a point.
First attempt.
That right there is what we put in our chalk lines.
Ah.
We actually grid the table, as you saw.
Yeah, I saw the grids on that. Is that to help with the setup, is it?
Yep.
Ah, and you ping a line?
Yep, so that's basically the device right there on the right. It's just a chalk snap line, so we'll line up the diamond to diamond, snap it.
Used to use them on the construction site.
Where do you think I got it?
Ah, really? Yeah, we call it a chalk line.
All right, second attempt here.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, no.
Wow.
Oh, did the difficult part.
All right, so now he's got that down. He's got the speed that he knows how to hit it. Now you just change your angle or your aim point.
So where are you trying to land the cue ball? Let's have a look at it. Landed sort of just before the top. Is that correct?
You want to land about just on the top of the ball.
Oh, that must be so frustrating to actually get that 8 ball out of the rack.
Some people put the cue ball closer to the rack. I've seen people do this with the cue ball further back in the rack, like further back towards the rail.
I mean, the more I think about this shot, the more difficult it is. I mean, you know, just trying to jump the ball for a start, to get over the triangle, then to catch the 8 ball in the right position to get the 8 ball jumping, then to get the accuracy to make the white ball go one way and the 8 ball go the other. It's just ridiculous. It's insane. You're crazy, you lot.
That's why it's a 10-point shot.
Yes, in it goes. 8 points.
Yep.
Yeah, we spoke about that in commentary, that you can, it was, I don't think he did strike the rack, did he? Coming out, yeah, but not going in. And it wouldn't have mattered if he did, right? Well, you're a busy man this morning, Brian. He'll be back again in a minute.
We watched the replay. It hit the rack coming out, but as you said, it came to contact.
Oh, Brian's a busy man. Just have another look at that. Can we, Kevin, is it possible just to have one more look at that? Here we go. Yeah, the 8 ball does strike the rack, but it's okay. Any ball can strike the rack. So things really hotting up in this semi-final now. We're getting down to the nitty-gritty. Maybe just a few things that, well, yeah, the 8 ball just catching the edge of the triangle, but I've got the president sat next to me. Is that okay, Mr. President?
That is a good shot. In the program, it says that. Now, Gaston's program is translated from English to Spanish, so maybe there was a communication translation breakdown there somewhere. Hold on one second.
Great movie, that, Lost in Translation. Bill Murray, Ghostbuster.
All right, so we are halfway through our wild card round. This is Tim's third wild card pick.
Oh, I like this one.
He did this last night.
Yeah.
Nobody really shoots this, and that's why it's a brilliant pick.
Double kiss off the 5 ball, hit the 7, rebound back, make the 8. He played this against Jamie Moody last night, I remember.
This shot is very technical.
We should have put the 8 ball over the other corner pocket. It would have made it.
That's the shot for
That's
next
just a
year.
setup. That's just a setup error.
That's a shot for next year.
Do you know? I've actually heard that shots have been born out of shots that have gone wrong, and
Yep.
thought, oh, hang on a minute. I know Efren Reyes gets a lot of his kick shots from seeing people that went wrong, but maybe went close the second time around. So he incorporates that into his game as well.
Absolutely. We actually have one of his shots in our program. And it's called the Efren Reyes kick. It's the one where he kicked the 10 ball, came back off the cue ball and went in the side.
Oh, yes, that's right. Yep, I know the one. We saw that yesterday.
Yep, that's in our program.
I think Jason Lynch will be playing. Oh, that was close.
Wow, that was close. Wow.
One more attempt. Yeah, I know the one you mean. Bank the cue ball. Sorry, bank the 10 ball down towards this rail. Hold the cue ball over the side pocket. 10 ball comes back and knocks in off the cue ball.
And the cue ball, the object ball he's kicking off of the 2 ball is actually adjustable. So you can have it on the rail, you can have it out a little bit.
Wow.
Just off on the outside.
Another pick that didn't go according to plan. Just have a quick look through the chat. I know we've got, well, seen some new faces in there this morning, actually. Some old ones as well. Talking of old, Rob Peacock, how are you doing, mate?
I think
that in the
the
nicest
question
possible way.
about the point when it was a mistake, in the program description of the shot to where the ball goes in and out of the rack, it is allowed to touch the rack. In certain shots, like the one-handed out of the rack, you
It's
can't
not.
touch it.
Yeah.
But in that shot, it is allowed to hit the rack.
So that was probably the confusion.
Could have been.
Both involved the rack, and they've already played the other one-handed out of the rack before, and he was penalised for that. Remember,
Yep, 'cause it
on the
touched.
last ball, it touched the rack, so that must have jogged something in his mind.
Could have been.
Yeah,
And that's why it's very, very important to read the description as it is written to make sure you understand how all the shots work. Because sometimes, like you said right there, it's okay to hit the rack in this time. It's not okay to hit the rack this time.
now look, he's got that ball much closer to the corner pocket. Is it, or is that a set position?
Which one, the 3 ball? Yeah, the 3 ball's in a set position. It has to be
okay.
on the half diamond line.
Okay, right.
But the 8's adjustable and the cue ball has to be on that diamond, on the first diamond line.
Okay. Looks awfully close. Oh. Nine points behind. Yeah, left-handed, so of course he's come around the other side of the table to play it.
Yep.
There you see, made contact but just missed.
And after this, we only have 3 shots left.
Seemed to play that a little bit quick.
I've noticed that sometimes when you miss the first try and then you get down and you just fire.
Yeah.
The one thing you notice about Tim, he's very meticulous. Like his pre-shot routine is the same. He's
Yeah.
just-
It's very important, isn't it? Have something that's repeatable. Keep doing the same thing.
Yep. Ever more so for what we do.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought he was aiming wrong on that, to be honest. I thought he was aiming too thin on the 3 ball.
All right. So now 0 points for Gaston on that shot. So now it is Gaston's 3rd wild card pick. So he can't do a jump shot. I can't remember what his first pick was.
Circular draw. Circular draw.
You just want to see that shot.
I do want to see that shot. I had somebody in the chat there from Las Vegas. They're not your chips that Tim Chin's got, are they?
We'll have to ask him where those poker chips come from. That's because there's got to be a story there.
There has got to be a story.
Well, at least you want there to be a story.
Well, the first thing I want to know is how much they're worth, whether he's worth mugging or not. I don't condone mugging, of course. That's just my sick humour. Or nearly used the
There
wrong
you go.
cloth
Yep.
again there.
There you go.
His friend just telling him,
Yep.
keep that liquid away.
Yep, because that's the stuff that's the cloth that Lee Group gave us. Well, you got a circular shot.
Yep. It's the circular follow. It's not the circular draw. Perhaps that was lost in translation as well.
No, I remember from last event, Tim had a heartbreaker on this shot. So most of the time, the one ball banks out and goes in the pocket. His banked, so the cue ball came out and hooked, but the one ball came over and made the 5 before the cue ball could, and it was going right at it. I'm like, oh man. And I'm pretty sure Tim's thinking about that right this very second. No, he said 5B.
Oh, it's the wrong shot.
It's the follow bender. Okay. 5B.
How many points is this one worth?
This is another 10-pointer.
Wow.
They're both 10-pointers, the circular follow and this.
Oh, yeah, I like this shot.
It's a nice force follow shot.
Yeah, got too much into it. It went too soon.
Absolutely. So you're getting the adjustments on this. So usually if it hits the rail like that and dives forward, you caught too much of the ball. So now you got to thin it a little more.
Little less of the ball, not so fat on the on the object ball.
And if it comes out and doesn't get over there, then you've thinned it too much. So sometimes you were literally looking at a millimeter's difference.
Well, I must admit, I'm really getting into this, and it's a great feeling when you finally make a shot. If I had my own table at home, I would definitely, well, I haven't even got a home. Hotels are my home at the moment. Second attempt. Oh, just didn't go. Lots of left-hand English on that as well.
Yep. This shot, with how he hit that, the cue ball came out and did what it needed to do. He just needs to have a little more spin.
Top spin.
Yep, some people put a little bit of side spin on it. Most people just hit dead top.
I like his pink shirt. I've actually got a nice pink shirt as well. I love my shirts.
All right, last try. Here we go.
Yes, no. Oh!
Wow. So see, he made his adjustment with spin, but too much.
It's, you know, it's I say this so many times when I'm commentating on artistic pool. You've got 3 shots, okay? So your first one, that's sort of like a tester. It's like the first dart in the dartboard, you know, just above the treble 20. Then your next one goes just below, and then the third one right in the middle. That's where you're looking for. But you could, can't we have a 4th attempt? I'm sure they'd get it on the 4th attempt.
Abram has been trying to petition for a 4th attempt for a while, for one time only, for one shot only. I'm like, you can't do that.
Yeah, that might confuse things.
So here we're in an interesting situation here. So Tim is up 9 points, and after this, there's only 2 shots left. If he hits this on any attempt, all he's really got to do is make a 6-pointer for his last shot, and the match is over. Here we go, 10-pointer follow bender.
It looked like he was playing it no English to the side, just high. Oh. So a little bit more.
A little more spin.
Spin.
A little more high. But not too much, or else you'll go to the rail like that Gaston did. That was a beautiful stroke that Gaston put on that ball, though.
Yeah, I think that's what the fans like to see when the cue ball's arcing around the table. We love spin, don't we?
Oh, absolutely.
The invention of the cue ball with the markings on it really did change, didn't it, the sport?
Oh, absolutely. It's perfect for what we do.
Yeah. Too much.
Yep. So either he changed his aim point or he added more spin. I think he changed his aim point, so then he overdid it. So now you gotta come back a little bit. As Dr. Q would say, you're on this side, now you're on this side, now go right in the middle.
Well, I want proof of that. Rob the Hurricane, send me a video, please. Circular draw shot. Third attempt. Yes. No! Oh!
Wow.
Dives on the table. Get a closer look. Let's have another look at that. Desperately close.
Wow.
Here we go again, look. Oh, the pain, the pain.
All right, so each person has one shot left. Tim has a 9-point lead. After this shot, if he has at least an 11-point lead, match is over because we don't have an 11-point shot.
And it's his point. It's
his pick.
Choice.
It's his pick.
So could be all over if he makes this.
One 5B.
What's that? Please be the circular draw.
Oh, he's doing this one.
Corner stuffing. Sounds
It
like
is.
sounds like Thanksgiving. What's going on here?
All right, so what's going to go here is you have a cluster of 3 balls. All 3 balls go into the corner pocket. 2 clean, 1 to the bank. The player has an option to put the 4th ball on either the side or the corner. So all 3 go in the pocket, and the cue ball makes the other ball. 10-point trick and fancy shot.
A 10-pointer.
Yep.
He's really going for it then.
Well, most people don't shoot this shot, so my guess is he's banking that Gaston can't hit this.
Whip the tail. What does that mean? Whip the tail.
The dragon tail.
Ah, I see.
I saw Rob talking about that on Facebook last night.
Rob said he's going to be here next year playing.
That'd be cool. Be lucky to have him back. So,
We had 11 players for this particular event, didn't we?
yeah,
We're down to 4.
we're down to 4. All right. Tim likes this shot. He's like the only person who likes this shot.
Yeah, I saw him play this earlier in practice, actually.
And he hit this in the Nationals last time, too, in a playoff match.
So all 3 balls, corner pocket, cue ball to make
The 12 ball.
the 12. Oh, close.
All right, so now he's thinking, okay, what ball did what?
Yeah, it really is a mental game as well.
So we got 2 of them to go, so now you got to make the adjustment to get the 3rd ball to go. And then the cue ball went short on the 11 ball. I'm sorry, on the 12 ball. So then he's got to figure out, okay, what do I got to do to get the cue ball there?
And could it be Is it an adjustment on height? Does high or low on the cue ball make a difference of the throw of the balls?
It can. So like that shot, if he put any low on it, he'd probably go up a little bit so it doesn't stun as much. So it can come over and make the 12 ball better.
Really is so much to think about. How much practice do these guys put in a day? Like not, you know, if there's a tournament coming up, how many hours a day would you practice, Brian?
It depends on how much time I have.
You've got another job, I'm guessing.
I do. So if I can get to the table about 6 to 8 hours a week before an event like this. Okay, so that 2 ball clipped.
Well, how about this for a scenario? If he doesn't make this and Gaston makes it first time, he will go
He'd have a 1 point lead
into the lead
with 1 shot to go.
with 1 shot. And then Gaston's pick,
As long as he
Gaston makes
As
it,
long as he makes on the first try, then the match
he's
is
won.
Yep. But here's the other scenario. If Tim misses this and Gaston misses this, Gaston needs to go for a 10-pointer.
Wow. This is exciting, guys. Hope you're enjoying it at home as much as we are here in the league room, watching it live. But you're seeing exactly what we see. There is. Well, we've just been brought a pizza by the owner. Can't wait to eat that. We've got a nice thick crust pepperoni pizza waiting for us, Brian. Are you hungry?
Yeah, I'm getting there. All right, last try.
No. The double kiss.
Yep, the ball that banked kissed it again. All right, so 0 points for Tim Chin. This is surprising. All his wild cards, I don't think he scored on any of his wild card picks.
Yeah, none of them.
All right, so now it is Gaston's attempt at this. So let's just say for scenario purposes, if he misses his shot, he's down by 9. That means he has to hit a 10-pointer on the first try, and then Tim would have to miss it. Or if he gets a 9-pointer on the first try and Tim misses it, then we go to a sudden death playoff, which we've never had yet.
You've never had it?
We've never had
in
a
the
sudden death
semi-final
in a match period.
But what was there happened the other day when there was a 4-way tie, wasn't there?
That was for discipline title.
Ah, okay.
That's never happened before. We've had ties before, but we've never had a 4-way tie. So yep.
Cleaning them balls. What's he playing? He's not playing the 3-2-1.
No, he's playing the same shot. He's just the 3 balls that we're going to be.
Ah, of
yeah.
course he is. Yeah, we're still on that shot, aren't we?
Yep.
Apologies.
That's all right.
Now he's doing what you said, using the 1-2-3, which can sometimes make the deciphering of what went wrong.
Yep. So you know the 1 ball's supposed to do this, the 2 ball's supposed to do this, the 3 ball's supposed to do this. So when it goes, or if it goes short or long, you're like, oh, that's the ball that did that. Here's my adjustment to move it.
Yeah, clever. Any little advantage you can gain, so important. This guy, remember, has come all the way from Buenos Aires, and he's playing it the other way round. That's what threw me, because he's left-handed, of course.
Yep, we can do a mirror image.
Wow. Again, 2 went. 1 of them didn't, and he didn't make the carom either. And the ball over the corner. Now there he is thinking, what happened? What went where? What adjustment have I got to make?
Yep.
Does he adjust the setup? Does he adjust the way he hits it? Is it a combination of both or what?
It's a little bit of everything. It's like, okay, if I Adjust my setup. What does that do? If I hit it harder, what does that do? If I hit it softer, what does that do? If I add spin, what does that do?
See, that's 4 different things. So I'm with Abraham on this. I think you need one more shot. You need 4 attempts. Come on. How can we twist your arm? No, I love it. I wouldn't change a thing. I love it just the way it is.
Yep. And another variable to throw something else in there, you got to make sure all 3 balls are frozen to each other. If you set it up and there's a gap and you don't notice it, it could really throw the shot off. It's like the difference between breaking a 9-ball rack that's got gaps or breaking a 9-ball rack that everything's frozen. It's going to react different.
You know you're only making things worse for yourself. Now we need 5 shots.
Or if you're Mark White, 27.
Oh, yeah. Thanks.
Hey, you said it. So here we go.
Know.
Second try.
Oh, that was really close. Although none of them went, it was really close, wasn't it? They were all on their way.
It was tracking.
Oh, there's a nice little secret in the chat just come up about you, Mr. Superman.
Uh-oh.
What's this about you being best man at somebody's wedding and you had your Superman vest on underneath?
I was the best man at Jason's wedding a couple months ago, and when we came into the reception hall, I wore a Superman shirt underneath, and I came in and ripped it open, showing the Superman shirt.
See, had you not have mentioned that 27 again, I wouldn't have mentioned that story, so touche.
All right, come on, Gaston, we want to see this. Last try.
Oh, how close was that on every level?
Wow.
Right. Well, we need your expertise. So what's going to happen here? So it's Gaston's pick.
It's Gaston's pick. He's down by 9.
He needs a 10-pointer.
He needs a 10-pointer on the
or
first
a 9,
try.
Or a 9.
10-pointer on the first or second try, or a 9-pointer on the first. Anything less than that doesn't work.
It's adios.
Yeah, they're talking about the situation now. So he's down by 9. He has to score 9 or more.
Yeah. Yeah. Needs at least a 9-pointer.
Yep. So yeah, ideally you would want to do a 10, because if you catch on your first try, you go up, but you still got that second attempt to force a tie. If you do a 9-pointer, you have to hit it.
You have to hit it first
You have
time.
to hit it on the first try. There is 0 margin for error. If he does a 9-pointer and misses,
It's over.
it's over.
Yeah, okay, so good point. So he needs a 10-pointer, really, to have 2 swings at it.
And he can't pick any of the disciplines he's already picked.
I'm only going to say it one more time. Circular draw. Thanks
It
to our sponsors again.
depends on how well he hits it. You know?
Yeah. Have you seen him hit it? Who's the best at the circular draw? I'm guessing Jason.
That competes now.
Yeah.
Jason's looks prettier because he strokes it really good. But you got someone like a Tim Chin who can make the circular draw. He doesn't stroke it as hard, but it's technical, so it doesn't like fire back like what Jason's does, but it comes back and makes it. So if you want to go by sheer optics, I'd probably say Jason. All right. So this is study time. It's like, all right, I got to come with something here. What do I come with?
Yeah, decisions.
Playing from behind in these matches are never fun.
I likened it yesterday to trying to choose your favourite dish off the menu, but there's 2 or 3 that you fancy, but you can only have one. Which one do you go for?
Yep, it's tough. And especially
like the steak I had the other night. That was pretty tough. I wish I hadn't chosen that off the menu.
Yeah, I mean, Gaston played amazing this week. I mean, he was #1 seed, took 3 discipline titles. He was making everything from everywhere. And only in his second event, too. I mean, that's crazy.
Do we know how old he is?
I don't know. My guess is he's older than me.
I guess he's not as old as me, so somewhere in between. Somewhere in between 30 and 50. I'm joking.
Look, I'm 41.
Well, I'm 60. Let's put him at 45, shall we?
That'll work. He doesn't look a day over 42.
Who knows how old Gaston is? There must be someone in the chat that knows how old he is.
He's also one of our animated players too. You can tell when he makes something that he likes, he lets it go.
Yeah.
And that's awesome.
Yeah, I love that. I love to see characters. Oh, here we go.
He did a 10-pointer. We'll see what he's doing.
Oh, this is just as exciting as the actual shots. Waiting to see what he's going to play. What is it? Somebody tell us. The kiss and kick
Ooh, talk about a pick.
shot. Has he pushed the boat out here?
So how this works is the cue ball is going to kick. No, it's not what he's setting up.
Oh,
Let's see what he's
okay,
doing
hold
here.
on.
Oh, he's doing the Efren Reyes shot.
Ah, this is the one you were talking about earlier.
Yep. It's a 5B. There we go. 5B. So, yep. So he's going to shoot the object ball into the rail. The object ball's going to come back, hit the cue ball, go in the side pocket.
I think I can do this in 26 attempts.
It's tough. And to think about it, when Efren shot this, he got shape on it and then shot it.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
First attempt. Stop that cue ball. Or draw back just a fraction. Or stun over. Oh, he made it in the corner, look.
Wow, that was so close. I mean,
Now-
a millimeter to the other side, and that goes in.
Has to make it this time.
Yeah, this is a must make. If he doesn't make it here, the match is over.
There you go. 48 in November.
All right.
So 45, we gave him 3 years. Come on, Gaston, make this. Keep the match alive. This could be the last shot. Is it there? It is there. It is there.
wow.
He's kept it alive. Wow.
Talk
Excitement.
about pressure, ice water in your veins. All right, so now, if Tim Chin hits this on any attempt, he wins the match.
We've got clarity at long last. Look at this. Perfection. Beautiful. Wow.
It's like,
No
whoa.
reaction. He knows that exactly what you just said. Any attempt now, though, from Tim Chin, and it's still all over.
Yep,
He's keeping his concentration. No celebration yet.
yep. So then here's the tiebreaker scenario.
Look at that. Sorry,
There
56,
you go.
56. Yeah, go on, carry on. Tell us about the tiebreaker.
If we get to the point, if Tim does not make this, we go into a sudden death playoff with one shot. Same order. They will pick from a discipline they have not yet picked from in that final four. So each player has picked from 4 disciplines. The tiebreaker is you pick a shot that you had from a discipline you haven't picked from. Each player gets a swing at it. So it's, in a sense, it's just an extension.
Yeah, it's like a spot shot.
Exactly. It's the spot shot in 10 ball.
Yeah. Absolute silence. He's gone the wrong side of it. Now I want to see. Did he put that chalk down as a marker for something?
On the rail?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think
No?
you just said it there.
Okay. There's the chips again, look.
Mm-hmm.
When the chips are down, get the chips out.
Now, some people play this with spin. Some people try to angle it just a hair and hit it with a dead stop shot. Your preference.
Excelente tiro Gaston. There you go. How's my Portuguese?
Not bad. All right, here we go. Second try.
Oh, it looks good. Oh, too thin.
Oh, man.
Oh, the pressure, the drama. One shot to go. If he makes it, he wins the semi-final. If he doesn't, we're going to sudden death.
Yeah. If Tim misses this shot, I'm going to step out for a second to clarify with these guys the rules and everything. So
I think I'm going to step outside to go and have some fresh air and a break from this tension. I mean, the pressure in this room is unbelievable. You know, like when you're on an aircraft and your ears pop. I feel that's what's about to happen to me.
talking about pressure. Makes this, is the last attempt, makes this, match is over.
One ball, side pocket. Is he going to make it? He's not. He's not going to make it. He's missed it. We go in sudden death. We'll be back, guys, very, very soon with the deciders.
We are at dead tie after the playoff match. We are at a sudden death playoff. How this works is that each player will have one shot to pick. They cannot pick in any of the 4 disciplines they picked in their wild card round. So it's just an extension of the wild card round. And for some odd reason, after they both shot and they're tied, we go to another one and keep going. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a round of applause to these guys. These guys are putting on a show for you guys. They're playing their hearts out. They won that final. Tim was the first player, so he has the first shot out of this, and they can start whenever they feel like they want to start. Congratulations, guys.
All right, we are back from a little break. So we are on our first sudden death playoff shot. And this is called the flying kick split. So Tim has picked this shot, and I've seen him make this a couple times. So the cue ball is on a piece of chalk centered on the head rail. You jump the cue ball over the two balls, and it's going to kick one rail, come back, and split them in the pockets.
How many points?
This is a 10-pointer. 10-point special arts.
Ooh, big puff of the cheeks, big deep breath. Here we go. I've seen him make this. He's got it. He's got it. First shot. Brilliant.
Wow.
Well, it's simple. Gaston must make this. If he doesn't...
But he still has a one shot, too.
Oh.
Yeah, it's just they both have
Oh,
one
they
shot.
both have a shot. Oh,
Yep.
okay, I'm sorry.
But see, here's the thing. If he goes 0 on this, he has to hit a 10-pointer first try for the next time.
Of course, the points still count.
Points
I'm
still
with
count,
you,
yeah. So Gaston's not out of this yet.
And that is so difficult because any little bit of English, look at the scream from the dragon, breathing fire. Yes. Yeah, any little bit of English, left or right on that, and you don't make that.
Right. See, I shoot this with a break cue, so I don't get any spin. I love the fact that Abrams here can translate.
Certainly is it, Caitlin. Great shot. Great to see the people in the chat getting involved, getting excited as well. No.
Oof.
He's got 3 attempts though, of course, still.
I'll tell you what, I told the crowd, this has been a history-making world championship. First time of a 4-way tie for a discipline title. Tim Chin ties Dr. Q for most special art world titles. Abram ties Mike Massey and Venom for most in stroke and jump. And then now we have our very first sudden death in a playoff match.
This is interesting, Brian, as well. He's swapped ends here.
Sometimes if you can tell the table might be maybe favoring a side or the other.
But Tim just made his from that end.
Yeah, then ideally you'd want to go from that.
Yeah, that's interesting.
But again, whatever makes you feel comfortable.
Yeah, absolutely. Perhaps he feels sorry for Sherry and doesn't want to risk hitting her.
That's a good look.
No, he hit that one very hard, didn't
Very
he?
hard, yeah.
Bounced off the rail.
He was going right into it. Here we go.
Wow. And, well,
All right, so here's a scenario. Gaston has to hit a 10-pointer on the first try, or the match is over.
he seemed to take those last 2 shots really quickly. Is that sort of a resignation kind of?
I don't think so. Maybe he was just, maybe anxious or something. I don't know. Because normally he's a very deliberate, take his time.
Perhaps it was the opposite. Perhaps he was just trying to look, okay, right, let's go. Let's not think too much about it. Let's just play it.
Could have been.
Yeah.
Yep, so now here's the hard part. Flip through the book. What 10-pointer can you make on the first try?
Well, there's only one shot to go for in my eyes.
And judging who's in the next match, I have a feeling you're going to see that too.
66, 56. The math is Well, it's obvious. He must make a 10-pointer.
There's even Tim trying to keep himself calm.
Oh, he's a fast reader, look. Five.
It was a discipline 3. It's a draw stroke. 5, I don't know which one it was.
What's the shot?
Just waiting to get confirmation of his choice.
When he starts setting it up, we'll see it. I know it's a 10-point draw shot. So it's 5 something. I think I know what he's doing. I think he's doing the Mike Massey power draw. That looks like what he's doing.
Massey's power draw 10-pointer obviously needs 10 points. There
Yep.
you go.
So it's pretty self-explanatory. Make the one. It's kind of like a compression shot. Compress into the rail. Then the cue ball comes back all the way around the table, hits the rack.
Low right.
Low right.
Must make it
Yep.
first attempt.
This is a must-make to force a potential tiebreaker. Another tiebreaker shot.
Tim Chin. Gaston. Which one will go through? Favourite, you have to say at this point, is Tim Chin. But we've seen it all change before.
Absolutely. Gaston won the draw medal. So he can draw a cue ball.
Great point. And you see him compressing it into that rail. Must make the ball though, of course.
All right, here we go.
It's got a chance. It's got every chance. Has it got the pace? Has it got the pace? Has it got the strength? It hasn't.
man,
It's all
what a
over. They'll
match.
shake hands. Oh, and they have a cuddle. Look, that's lovely. What a great, great match. And we're going to be back at 3 p.m. with the Master
Match, ladies and gentlemen.
against Jason Lynch.
For Gaston Tomadoni, second tournament ever, bronze medal. Bronze medal in the second tournament ever. Amazing, amazing feat. Tim Chin will go on to the final to win, to play the next of our 2 semifinalists, Jason Lynch and Master Lin, over here on table number 1. Amazing match. Another round of applause to these guys. This was amazing. Artistical at its best.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant, brilliant match. And there's more to come, of course. I'll hand you back to our Captain Kirk.
Wow, what a nail-biter that match was. What a great match. Hard fought by both players. What an amazing match. There's going to be more of that coming up. Next match, 3 p.m. Eastern time. Who are the opponents going to be in that one?
It's Jason Lynch versus
Lynch.
the Master Lin.
That's going to be a great match as well. Actually, they're all good matches, so you won't want to miss it. Anyway, see you guys in about 40 minutes from now, so make sure you come back. All right, I'm Kevin Ross. See you guys.